What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Way Report and NextGenHeights.com. And it is Friday, March the 20th, 2026, 7:34 a.m. Central, 7:34 a.m. Central. That's what time it is. And we are here on the Daily Climb. It is Friday, guys. And I want to end the week with three numbers. Three strong numbers. Take a look at this. All from this week. All real. All verified. The first number, 93%. That is the percentage of jobs already impacted by AI in some way right now. That is not a prediction. That is a case study. Cognizant analyzed 18,000 workplace tasks, and that is what the data shows. But here's what makes it even more serious. In 2023, they predicted 93% of jobs would be impacted by 2032. The same level of disruption is arriving 6 years earlier. 6 years earlier. The second number is this, 205,000. That is how many people filed for unemployment last week, near a historic low. The headlines say the job market is fine. The third number, 83%. That is how much WARN Act layoff filings surge year over year in states like New Jersey in early 2026. Now, here's what you need to understand. These three numbers are not contradictions. They are a map. And in today's show, we're going to show you the key. Okay? We are going to break down what is really happening in this labor market. We are going to look at the companies making money while simultaneously cutting jobs and cutting people. We are going to meet two real professionals whose stories came out this morning in Business Insider. And then we are going to send you into this weekend with the plan. Guys, this is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Let's look at the data. But before we look at the data, got to say what's up to my people in the chat. You guys probably noticed that Wade had his YouTube channel on. I wanted to make sure that I can see the super chats, guys. So let me see who's all in the house. We got Douglas Robinson up early this morning while I was preparing for the show. He was the first one in the chat this morning. Good to see you, Douglas. You got the Life of Cam in the house. We got Gifty in the house. We got MS Lunatal in the house. We got Amani K in the house. Good to see you all. We got Kachana in the house. That is a new name. That's the first time I've seen you, Kachana. Good to see you. Glad that you are in the house. The Resilient Analyst in the house. Big Suggs is in the house. STI is in the house. Gifty 1212 is in the house. AR is in the house. Josetta Anderson is in the house. I'd like to see Josetta in the house. Sylvia Rose is in the house. Jilly Miller is in the house. Guys, I'm seeing all the people who come here on a morning representing. We got Uptights in the house. Good to see you, Uptight. Is that the first time coming into the house? I like it. I like it. Bright's Born is in the house. Mr. Oliver is in the house. Bruce Leroy is in the house. I like that name, Bruce Leroy. Uptight is in the house. Again, good to see you all this morning. Aloquandra's in the house. Morpheant's in the house. Ant Dog is in the house. Sir Night is in the house. Guys, you guys were just getting it this morning, welcoming each other and having a good old time chatting. I love that. That's how you start a Friday morning. But let's get to the data. Okay? Let's get to the first segment and let's get to the data because we got to start with the market. This week gave us something important. It gave us a blueprint. Let me show you the data now. FedEx reported earnings on Thursday night. $24 billion in revenue, $5.25 earnings per share. They beat estimates by 27%. They raised their full year guidance. Their cost savings program is now expected to exceed $1 billion. What do you think happened to FedEx stock? Tell me. What do you think happened to FedEx stock? Type it in the chat. Their stock jumped about 9% after hours. Now, I need you to hold that number, because here's what happened at the same time. FedEx is closing distribution centers. FedEx is finalizing the closure of its Coppell, Texas facility. 856 workers. Completion by April 29th. Okay? Revenue up, facilities closing. Workers out, stock up. Does that sound any similar? Does it sound very similar to the stories that we've been talking about on this Daily Climb show for the last couple of months? This is the blueprint we have been talking about all week on this show. Beat earnings, cut costs, fund AI, watch the stock rise. And this week, FedEx confirmed something else. This is what they confirmed. FedEx Freight is becoming its own independent public company. June 1st, 73 days from today. The ticker, FDXF, the nation's largest less than truckload freight carrier. 39,000 workers, 355 terminals across North America. And here's what most people are missing about this. They are building out a sales team right now, going from 200 reps to 400, spending $600 million on IT infrastructure before the split. That is a company being built, not cut. I want you to remember that, okay? Because later in the show, we are going to talk about where to point your career energy this weekend. And FDXF is on that list. FDXF is FedEx Freight, its own public company. I want you guys to listen to something real quick. Let's jump over to the FedEx earnings call.
Consistent execution drove our strong Q3 financial performance. I also want to express my gratitude to our team members in the Middle East. Their safety and security is our top priority. We're closely monitoring the situation, have implemented contingencies, and are operating in alignment with local authorities as we continue delivering the best possible service to our customers. Our strong Q3 results were largely driven by Federal Express Corporation, or FEC, demonstrating the power and resilience of our global industrial network. As we recently outlined at our Investor Day, the entire FEC organization is aligned and making progress across our 4 strategic priorities: growing in high-margin verticals, transforming our network, and building on our data and technology advantage while delivering ongoing efficiency gains.
Delivering ongoing efficiency gains, focused on IT infrastructure, efficiency. You heard it. That's from the CEO itself. Now let me show you a signal from this week that connects directly to this FedEx story. And honestly, it changes the entire conversation about AI fluency. I'm over here laughing because I saw one of you in the chat talking about how I glitched. It happens. That's what happens when you run a live show. It's absolutely beautiful when you run a live show. But check this out. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said something on Thursday that I need for every person in this room to hear, okay? He said, if that $500,000 engineer did not consume at least $250 worth of tokens, I am going to be deeply alarmed. You know, the conversation that we had on yesterday where Nvidia CEO said the new compensation is going to be something like tokens. So you're going to have multiple line items, four line items, right? Salary, bonus, equity, and tokens. That's the new model that they're talking about rolling out to compensate people. He came back and said this. If his $500,000 engineer, so if an engineer that's making $500,000 did not consume at least $250,000 worth of tokens, he's going to be deeply alarmed. Let me translate that for you. Tokens are the units AI uses when it reads and generates text. The more you use AI, the more tokens you consume. So Jensen Huang is saying is this. If a high-paid engineer at Nvidia, if you are a high-paid engineer at Nvidia and you are not using AI heavily, you are a problem. This is no longer try AI if you feel like it. This is use it or explain why you are not. And he went further. He said tokens are becoming a new component of compensation, salary, bonus, equity, and now tokens, AI access. The question companies are starting to ask is not what are your skills? It is how many tokens comes with your job. I want you guys to type signal in the chat if you understand what just shifted here. Type it in the chat. Tokens. You guys are going to be getting tokens. If you're not using those tokens, guess what's happening? You may be looked at a certain way. Because if I'm paying you $500,000 a year plus, and you're not consuming at least half of that in tokens, you're not working hard enough. And it's not just Nvidia. This week, Snowflake, the $59 billion cloud data company, cut its technical writing and documentation team. Can you believe that? All over Business Insider. They're going to do a complete transformation right now. Snowflake, the data company, was on a rocket ship the last couple of years. They were on a rocket ship. This is the Nvidia Business Insider article here. Jensen Huang says he would be deeply alarmed if his $500,000 engineer did not consume at least $250,000 in tokens. And here's a Snowflake article here. Snowflake makes cuts as part of a targeted adjustments to the company's strategy. Cut its technical writing and documentations team. Now, why? Because AI writes the documentation now. The people whose jobs was to explain the technology were replaced by the technology. And crypto.com, another one. Let's go to crypto.com. We're going to go to crypto.com. It's in here. Crypto.com, they cut 12% of his workforce this week. The CEO posted publicly, roles that do not adapt in our new world. He called it joining the list of companies integrating enterprise-wide AI. That's what he said. This is happening all across the board, guys. You're starting to see it. Here's the article right here. Crypto.com CEO announces 12% layoffs targeting roles that do not adapt in the new world. I'm going to say something now, and I want you to let it land. In our community, yesterday morning, doing the show, one of our members said it plainly. He said, hiring for coders is dead. That is not me saying it. That is someone in this community saying it, living it in real time. The same member is already building something that I want to highlight. He created what he calls an agent academy, where his agents have to pass tests, get certified before they are allowed to work on any project. He said every cert you need, your agents need. That is the future of how work gets done. The companies that are winning are building AI fluency in every level of the organization, not just the top, every level. I want you guys to type adapt in the chat if you hear that. Type adapt in the chat. All right. Before we go on, I want to take 30 seconds. And if you are watching this show right now and you are employed but unhappy, do not quit emotionally, quit strategically. I am doing something called the Career Clarity Audit. You fill out one intake form. Within 24 hours after submitting that intake form, you get your target roles, your positioning, and a 7-day action plan. No call. None of that. I need to talk to somebody and get on the phone call and discuss little things. None of that. No fluff. $79. If you want the upgrade, you also get your LinkedIn about section rewritten, your key resume bullet points rewritten, and you build a 90-day exit plan. That is $149. Here's the thing about 2026. Having clarity is the strategy. Stop applying to random jobs. You need a plan. Not motivation. You need a plan. Link is in the description. Okay? Link is in the description. Now let's keep moving on. We just saw the corporate side of this story. Companies beating earnings, cutting workers, requiring AI fluency at every level. Now I want to show you what this looks like from the inside. Two real people, two real stories published today in Business Insider. You know I love Business Insider. You know I love the case studies there. We got some good ones. Okay? We're going to jump over to it right now. Let's look at the data. Before I get to the case studies, I want to share something with you. I need to give you some context. WARN Act filings are up 83% year over year in states like New Jersey in the first 10 weeks of 2026. Now, if you do not know what a WARN Act filing is, let me explain it real quick. The WARN Act requires companies with 100 or more employees to give 60 days notice before a mass layoff. These are public records available at your state's Department of Labor right now, today. And the names on those filings this year are not small companies. There are companies like Amazon, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Bristol Myers Squibb, Citibank, JP Morgan Chase. These are all household names, and they all are filing. Take a look at this video.
Over 6,000 Illinois workers could soon be out of a job. That's according to filings by the Illinois WorkNet WARN reporting system. January's report listed over 2,000 workers affected, while February reported almost 4,000 employees to be cut. The WARN Act requires businesses with 75 or more full-time employees to notify the state at least 60 days before a mass layoff or facility closure.
That's this week, guys. And this week, we had two more manufacturing closures that tell the same story from a different angle. Ashley Furniture, Stanley Decker. Ashley Furniture, the world's largest furniture manufacturer, filed a warn notice in Mesquite, Texas. 266 workers gone by May 7th. And Stanley Black & Decker closed the last factory in the city where they were founded 183 years ago. 300 workers. You know what Black & Decker Stanley said when they announced the closure? They said single-sided tape measures are becoming obsolete. Laser measurement tools took their place. 183 years and the product became irrelevant. Now I want to ask you a question, and I want you to sit with this. Is any part of your job becoming the tape measure? Type signal in the chat if you felt that. Is any part of your job becoming the tape measure? Let's go a little bit deeper. Got the case studies for you guys. I know you want to dive into the case studies. Let me jump over to Business Insider real quick. So I'm going to tee this up with the stories. Business Insider published a story this morning that I want every person in this room to read. When you get a chance, go and check it out. Her name is Valerie Lockhart. She was a vice president at Morgan Stanley in her 40s, based in Georgia. In March of 2025, she walked into a conference room, saw an HR representative sitting there, and found out she was being laid off. She did everything right. She updated her LinkedIn, optimized her resume for ATS systems, created a spreadsheet to track every single application. By November, she had applied to over 550 jobs. 550. She heard back from 25 of them. She made it to the final round multiple times. And every time, something flipped. That's Ashley Lockhart. Let me know what you guys think flipped. Put it in the chat. Meanwhile, a pipe burst under her house. The garage flooded. Thousands of dollars in property damage. She could not afford the plumbing repair. So her family went without hot water for months. She started a GoFundMe on LinkedIn to raise money for the repair. This is a vice president with real credentials. A vice president with real credentials, real experience, real education. And in January of this year, she finally landed something. A temporary contract. She is still looking for something permanent. This is Valerie's words. Some companies would rather leave a position empty than hire someone. I want you to sit with that, guys. Because what Valerie experienced is not a personal failure. It is a structural market reality. Type Valerie in the chat if you feel this job market right now. Type Valerie in the chat. I wanted you guys to see this one. 550 applications, 25 callbacks, 11 months, 0 offers. No full-time job, just a temporary contract. Let's go to case study number 2. Because Business Insider published another one. This is a good one. And this one has a different lesson, though. Her name is Tihao, 35 years old, product marketer at Amazon. She joined in 2021. Got a beautiful smile, don't she? She joined when she heard Amazon. Well, she joined in 2021, but she was hearing news most recently about Amazon might be cutting jobs. Tahal didn't panic. She got to work, she said. She learned vibe coding. She built an internal site using AI. She upskilled. She showed her value. Amazon still cut her. October 2025, one of the 14,000 people impacted. She told Business Insider, and I want you to hear this exactly, okay? Reskilling in the age of AI will not necessarily stop a company from laying you off, but it might help you land a role faster. That is honesty. But here's the part of her story that matters most. When Amazon cut her, she already had a plan running. She and her husband had agreed if she got laid off, she would focus on her career coaching business, Do My Resume LLC. She had been building it on the side. She took 3 weeks to decompress, stepped away from the screen, and now she runs her own business on her own terms. She did not wait for a company to save her. She built something on her own. I want you guys to type Tahal in the chat if you understand the difference between those two stories. Type Tahal in the chat. Valerie. Let's go back to Valerie, okay? Valerie followed every rule. Resume, 550 applications, ATS, spreadsheet, network, apply, and repeat. 550 times. Tahal built new skills, got cut anyway, but had a parallel plan already moving. Neither path guaranteed safety, but one of them controls her outcome today. And one of them is still waiting on a company to say yes. The lesson is not what Valerie did, or it's not that Valerie did something wrong. The lesson is this: in a frozen market, credentials alone are not enough. Upskilling alone is not enough. You need a strategy that does not depend on any single company. That strategy does not need to depend on any single company saying yes to you. Let's keep moving. We just saw the human stories. Now let me show you why both of them make perfect sense at the same time. Their macro picture explains everything. Check this out. Let me show you why 2026 feels the way it does. 205,000. That's the number of unemployment claims. Week ending March the 14th. Near a historic low. Below the pre-pandemic average. The headlines say the job market is healthy. And technically, the data, however you want to look at it, if you look at the data and the data is in front of you, technically the data is right. It's not wrong. But here's what the headlines are not saying. Job openings, 6.9 million, down from a peak of 12.2 million. That is 4.3 million fewer opportunities than 2 years ago. Time to hire, 44 days. Quit rate, near multi-year lows. People are not getting fired. but they are not getting hired. And they are not quitting because they have nowhere to go. That is not a healthy job market. That is a frozen one. Hopefully you guys are picking up on this data. Let's go to this video real quick.
With your jobs report, here's Mike McKee. Morning, Mike.
Well, Chris Waller is going to be having a heart attack now. 92,000 jobs lost during the month. Last month's 130,000 revised down to 126,000. Not a major revision down, but a loss of 92,000 jobs. Now, there is certainly going to be some weather involved in that, and we'll check on that in just a second. The total payroll revision over 2 months is minus 69,000. So you got to add those two things together. Change in private payrolls down 86,000. Manufacturing payrolls down 12,000. Average hourly earnings up 0.4%, puts the year over year at 3.8%. That's a tick higher than it was. Average weekly hours 34.3, and the Labor Department says we'd see a decline in that probably if there was a weather effect. So it isn't clear that that is the case yet. And labor force participation drops to 62%. So some bad news on the labor front. Now, on the retail sales front, and these are January numbers delayed by the government shutdown.
Let me pause it there. You guys heard the numbers. Labor market is not so good. Now, this week, Business Insider published a roundtable. Share that with you guys as well. Name of the article: HR execs share a growing concern about doubling down on AI. The roundtable is of chief people officers, senior HR leaders at major companies. And I want to give you two things they said. The chief human resources officer at ATS Corporation said at some point, the level of experience our middle management has will quickly become irrelevant. She said it is probably the middle layer that is going to start to vanish. That is a CHRO talking about her own company. And a BCG, a Boston Consulting Group partner, said this: I keep hearing hours saved, but I am not seeing any change in results. Meaning companies are using AI, but they have not figured out yet how to turn that into efficiency, how to turn that into revenue, which means the pressure to prove return on investment on AI is only going to increase. And when that pressure builds, guess what happens? More cuts follow. Type frozen in the chat if you feel this market right now. Type frozen in the chat. Let me give you the framework. The job market right now is split in two. On one side, you got workers inside a healthy company, and they are relatively stable, doing good, taking trips, having a good time with their family, going to Las Vegas, going to Florida, going to Miami, spending time on the beach, flying premium economy. Companies are not mass firing. But on the other side, you got job seekers, career changers, new graduates. They are navigating the hardest entry market since 2010. 44-day hiring cycles, 4.6 million fewer openings than the peak, warrant filings up 83%. I call this the gate. You are either inside the gate or you are trying to get through it. And the gate is heavy right now. But here's what I know about heavy gates. They can still be open with the right key. Even in this community on yesterday morning, before the show even started, people were already talking about the market bleeding, the Fed's one cut, gas prices being too high. I told you guys I went to the pump on yesterday and spent $93 for my Tundra. to fill the thing up. Our community feels the economy in real time because they are paying attention. And one of our longer tenured community members made a point that I want to repeat here. He has been at this company for over 30 years. His role is physical, not AI replaceable. And he said, I continue to think a few steps ahead. I know my environment. That is the posture. Whether your role is physical or digital, whether you are inside the gate or outside the gate, you cannot afford to stop thinking ahead. Now, let me show you the keys, okay? I'm going to show you guys the keys. Told you guys it's going to be a good show. We looked at the market so far. We met the people living inside of it. We understand the micro picture and the macro picture. Now, let me show you exactly where to put your energy this weekend, because some of this expires in 6 days. Okay? I have to start the segment with something urgent. Cisco, one of the largest technology companies on the planet. It's offering 2 complete AI learning paths for free right now. The first path, AI Technical Practitioner, covers AI powered coding, automation, real world labs, 8 CE credits. The second path, AI Business Practitioner, covers AI strategy, generative AI tools, productivity, 8 CE credits. Both are awesome. But if you complete both, you get 16 CE credits, $0. This expires March the 26th, 6 days from now. Register at learningnetwork.cisco.com. Link will be in the description, okay? Link will also be in my newsletter that will go out today at 11:30 a.m. Central. I'm not going to come back to this. It expires in 6 days. Either you move this weekend or you don't. IBM Skills Build also has a cohort orientation starting on March the 26th. AI cybersecurity, data analytics, free, structured, peer supported. Link is also in the description. If you're going to register for any of this, type Cisco in the chat. If you're going to register for this weekend, type Cisco in the chat. Let me show you where the jobs are, okay? Because you already know the jobs out there exist. You just need to know where you're going. You need to know where they're at. We talked about a company that is spinning off, right? The FedEx Freight spinoff. It goes independent on June 1st. 77 days from now. They are doubling their sales team right now and building corporate functions from scratch. Newly independent companies always have urgent hiring needs. They have urgent hiring needs in finance. They have urgent hiring needs in strategy, in HR, in marketing, and in operations. They are building the infrastructure on something that's brand new for an independent company. That window opens in 77 days. It will not stay open long. Giving you guys the game here now. Got to pay attention. Who else is hiring? Healthcare. 82,000 jobs in January alone. The most consistent sector in the entire economy. Guess who else was hiring? Defense and aerospace. They are still building human teams. Human oversight requires the requirements of human oversight. They protect these roles. Who else is hiring? Semiconductors. Companies like Micron, we talked about them crushing it on yesterday. Texas Instrument, NXP, they all are expanding all in this country. I want to share another video with you all.
Hi, I'm Jeff Burnett, CEO of Labor Finders, and welcome to this month's Labor Market in a Minute for the month of February. Non-farm payroll employment decreased by 92,000 jobs. This is a significant decrease from the prior month in January. Now, the two prior months for December and January reflected a decrease of 69,000 jobs from what was originally reported. This month's jobs data was significantly below expectations. The unemployment rate is at 4.4% in February. This is a small increase from the prior month. Job openings and new hires continue to be at very low levels. The number of job openings is at its lowest level since mid-2020. We are in a prolonged low hire, low fire environment at this time.
Okay. You heard Jeff talk about it. And I wanted to share this video with you all because you don't need to just hear it from me. You can also hear it from Jeff himself. Jeff is talking about interest rates, how our tariffs are impacting the economy, how it's impacting jobs. He's talking about the status of GDP. Go and check him out. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description as well. I like to find other content creators that are informative people of what's going on. And I came across Jeff's video this morning. I was like, all right, let me just play a little bit of Jeff's video. But let me show you something that ties all of this together, okay? Let me talk to you guys about something. This week on this show, we talked about a company beating earnings while closing facilities. We covered warrant filings up 83%. We met a VP who sent 550 applications and waited 11 months. We met a product marketer who upskilled and still got cut. Got cut anyway. All of that is data. It's all data, guys. That's one thing about it. It's all data. And it is exactly why I built the 2026 Career Protection Playbook. And it's free. And it gives you 4 things. The first thing that it gives you is your AI automation risk zone, so that you know exactly how exposed you are in the road that you are in. The second thing it gives you is the 5 skills that actually matter in 2026, not the skills that sounded good in 2022. The ones that matter right now. The third thing that it gives you is a 30-day quick start action plan. The fourth thing, a weekend action plan with 5 specific moves that you can make today. Plus, you get the Daily Climb newsletter Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central in your inbox. The professionals who survive 2026 are not waiting for permission. They are building career insurance right now. Link is in the description. Grab it today before you close this tab if you haven't done so already, okay? And if you want to go deeper on any of this stuff, on exactly what certifications to pursue, what cities have the most opportunity right now, and the specific job titles to target by sector, that is in the Patreon. Patreon.com/Black Heights, okay? The Heights Inner Circle. We go further every single week. Link is in the description. Let's keep this moving, okay? It is Friday. Told you guys it was going to be a good show. But I have to give you some actions. It's always important to give you actions on what you should do going into the weekend. You came to the show this morning on a Friday morning at 7 a.m. and some of you were in here at 6 a.m. Well, I was preparing for the show. People like Douglas, people like the Life of Cam, enjoying themselves, chatting it up this morning, saying good morning, drinking the coffee. That tells me something about you all. Tells me that you are ladder climbers and you're ready to go get it. Let me send you into this weekend with the right moves and with something from right inside this community that I think you need to hear. 3 moves this weekend based on today's data. Let me jump over to a video real quick. Share something with you all.
So I'm David Lane. I am responsible for what we call the job seeker journey. I lead product management as a VP of product management. So that means we prioritize the work of all the teams in Indeed trying to build great software on behalf of job seekers. So.
That's nice. Do you think that you can be over both? Like, is there a way that I don't have an answer, by the way, but can someone represent the interest of both the employer and the candidate?
We have to, absolutely. I mean, we are a two-sided marketplace, and all of it, even though my title is Job Seeker Journey, like everything we do has to be responsible and make sense for the employer side of the business. So like if we did things that like flooded the market with too many, job seeker applications, that would be a terrible outcome for employers, but also for job seekers, right? They would get ghosted and ignored and things like that. And so we do a lot to try to, serve all of our customer needs.
So it's good. So
it's all got a map. It's all got a map to we when you were asking them that, William, I just thought about, we've talked about this. And David, I always ask the question, does HR represent the employee or does HR represent the employer?
I want you guys to answer that question. What do you think? In the company that you work for, in the corporations that you worked for in the past, does HR represent the employer or the employee? Put it in the chat. You guys are all brilliant people. Put it in the chat what you think about the answer is to that. Let me give you the moves for this weekend, okay? Move 1. If you have a job and you feel comfortable, do the work this weekend that you will wish that you had done before the warn notice arrived. Go to your state's Department of Labor website. Search warn notices 2026. See if your employer or anyone in your sector has filed recently. You have a right to know. It is a public record. Use it. Move number 2. If you are in tech, social media, digital marketing, or any white collar role that is feeling the pressure, update your LinkedIn headline this weekend. Include at least one AI tool that you use regularly. You are not looking for permission. You are building evidence. Move number 3. If you are actively looking for work, stop applying to the same roles at the same large companies. Target FedEx Freight. Target mid-market companies under 200 employees. Target healthcare IT. Target defense and aerospace. The 44-day hiring cycle means if you need to be employed by a specific date, you need to start 60 to 75 days before that date. Do the math. Start this weekend. Type climber in the chat. You're going to make one of those moves. Type it in the chat. Now, before I close out today, I want to share something from right inside this community. Yesterday, one of our community moderators posted something in our Discord. He said that he didn't get a pleasant grade on his first research paper in his second course back to school. He had not gotten anything less than an A before since he started. He was angry. He was upset. I talked to him that day. I called him on the phone, driving home from San Antonio from a long day of work. I could hear it in his voice. But guess what? He did not quit. He went to the professor. He asked for feedback. The professor told him, you have more knowledge than most of your classmates. But you said what happened without explaining why. You did not use the framework. And he took that right then and committed. One of our community members responded to that post. And what they said is the whole show in one sentence. They said, everything is data. You took accountability, you asked for feedback, and you took further action. That is the formula. Not just for school, for this entire moment that we are living in. The market gave Valerie feedback, 550 applications, 25 callbacks. The market gave Tahal feedback. You can upskill and still get cut. Have a parallel plan. The market is giving all of us feedback right now, every single day. The question is, are you using it? And I want to close the community moment right now. Okay? Yesterday in our Discord, someone posted they were looking for a marketing professional willing to pay. Within 2 hours, a community member had a job lead, had dropped their contact information, and the conversation was moving, while somewhere else, someone was sending out their 550 first application into the void. One person found an opportunity through skills and relationships built inside a community. That is what we are building here every single weekday at 7:25 a.m. I want you guys to type Daily Climb. If this community has added value to your life, type it in the chat. If you want to be on the inside of the community where those conversations happen just about every single day, come to the Patreon, patreon.com/Black Heights, the Heights Inner Circle. Link is in the description. Let us close this out real quick. Let me give you 3 things that I want you to take from this week. Takeaway number 1, the job market is not collapsing, and it is not healthy. It is frozen. 205,000 claims tells you companies are not mass firing. 6.9 million openings, down from 12.2 million, tells you the gate is heavy. Know which side of that gate that you are on and position yourself accordingly. Takeaway number 2. Skills alone are not enough. Tahal upskilled and still got cut. Valerie had the credentials and waited 11 months. The protection comes from you. Skills plus a parallel plan. Skills plus AI fluency. Skills plus a community. Skills plus a strategy. Not just one thing, all of them together. Takeaway number 3. Capital is moving, and capital creates jobs. FedEx Freight goes independent in 73 days. Healthcare added 82,000 jobs in January. Defense and aerospace are still building human teams. Follow the capital. Position yourself inside the current. Don't position yourself against it. On Monday, since I didn't go really deep on the FedEx Freight spinoff, I want to talk about that. 39,000 workers, a brand new public company, a specific list of roles being created right now. If you are in supply chain, in logistics, in transportation, sales, finance, operations, Monday's show is for you. Do not miss it. And before I close out today, I got something to say. Yesterday in this community, 3 people sent super chats. I do not ask for super chats. I never will. But I want you to know what they mean. Every single dollar that comes into this channel goes right back into this channel for better equipment, for better research tools, for better content for you all. And one of those super chats said something that I want the whole room to hear. They said this channel launched their path as a 6-figure earner. That is why I show up, guys, every single weekday at 7:25 a.m. Central. So if you want to support a small channel that puts everything back into work, the super chat button is right there. But whether you give or you don't give, you showing up this morning is the support that matters most. If you cannot catch the live show every morning, make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter. Every weekday, I send it out Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central. You get a full recap of everything that we've covered, the data, the stories, the strategy, delivered straight into your inbox. Link is in the description. And if the daily climb helped you see the economy differently this week or this morning, make sure you hit the like button. Do it right now. It costs nothing to give a like, guys. And it helps other ladder climbers flying this show. And one more thing before I let you guys go. If you are employed right now, but you are unhappy, do not quit emotionally. Quit strategically. Next Gen Heights / Career Clarity Audit. One intake form. You submit that intake form, and in 24 hours, you get your target roles, your positioning statement, your 7-day action plan. Link is in the description. Subscribe to the newsletter, guys. NextGenHeights.com, Monday through Friday, in your inbox, 11:30 a.m. Central. And if you are new here, first time you coming across the show, welcome. I'm sure my ladder climbers in the chat, they treated you well, because that's what we do. We treat people well. We have a good time. Announce yourself. Say hi. Give your opinion. Help support people in the chat. But one thing that's important, you need to subscribe right now. Over 65% of you who watch this show on a daily basis are not subscribed. We are here every single weekday, Monday through Friday, translating business news into career strategy. You deserve to understand the economy that you are living in. Hit the subscribe button. Let's climb together. Guys, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Rest this weekend. I sure need it. I sure need it, man. Been going hard this week. Football practice until 8:30 last night. But do me a favor. Take those 3 moves that we talked about with you. Check the Warren database. Update the LinkedIn. Register for the Cisco certs. The climb does not take days off, but you should. Keep climbing. Have a fantastic weekend. Got to get prepared for a call at 9 o'clock. Before I jump out of here, though, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Y'all just having a good time chatting it up, ain't it? I love it. Life Cam, have a great weekend, my man. Crypto Case Cartel, have a great weekend. Douglas says, got me charged, man. Have a great weekend. Life Cam says, Antoine, you got a super chat, sir. Life Cam, man, I don't know what I'll do without you, brother. I'm looking in here right now. See if I can highlight it. Let's see. Let me go to, boom. Pop out chat. There we go. Andre Oliver, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate that, sir. Mr. Oliver, thank you. Have a great weekend. Guys, all of you, have a fantastic weekend. We will see you all bright and early on Monday. And go and crush it. Go and crush it. Take care now.